These are your Unit 1B Day 3 notes. In this set of notes, we are going to continue to work on Standard 2A. I can rewrite and evaluate expressions. We're specifically going to focus on exponential expressions using the zero property and adding and subtracting exponential expressions. So there's something you really need to know and remember to get started, and that is the exponential expression of 0. So if we look right here, we have 2 to the 0 power. Anytime we have a number to the 0 power, the answer is always, always, always 1. Now if we continue down this line, it shows what the answers are for these expressions. So 2 to the first power, 2, 2 to the second power, 4, and 2 to the third power would be 8. Because this is 2 times 2, and this is 2 times 2 times 2. And hopefully you remember that from our last video. So let's look over here. We have this blank, and we have 3 to the 0 power. Any number to the 0 power is always, always 1. So if you look right here, I have it right here, loud and clear. Any base to the power of 0 will always be what? I hope you thought about this and thought 1. Okay. So once we figure this out, after that, we are going to practice adding these expressions, these exponential expressions. And you will be using your calculator to do this. Okay, and remember today in class, we practiced using the graphing calculator. So when you are in class, you will always be using that. And then on Friday, we practiced using the calculators on our iPads or phone. So you should have access to a calculator at home and at school that allows you to do this. If you do not, or if you are confused, it's really important that you ask me for help, because I do not want you solving these questions, without a calculator. Okay, so let's go here. First, we have 5 to the 0 power. Oh, it's a number to the 0 power, so my base is 5. My power is 0. Guess what the answer is? Dun, 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 dun. 1. Okay, now we go here and it looks a little bit different. When you see a problem like this, you need to first find this answer, and then find this answer, and then add them together. Okay, so we have 5, our base is 5, and it's to the first power, so we know the answer for that would be 5. And then we have 3 to the 0 power, and we know when any number is to that 0 power, the answer will be 1. So we are left with 5 plus 1, and that would be the answer that goes on this line. 5 plus 1 is equal to 6. Okay, now we go here, and we have -8 to the 0 power. Remember, we know it's the number -8 because it's in the parentheses, but it's to the 0 power. Well, any number to the 0 power always has a value of 1. Next, we have 7 to the 3rd power plus 7 to the 0 power. So at this point now, I'm going to type 7 to the 3rd power in my calculator. And when I do that, I get an answer of 343. And we know any number to the power of 0, 7 to the power of 0 is always what? 1. Let's hope we're getting the hang of that now. So now we have 343 plus 1, and that equals 344. Okay, make sure you have this information in your notes and we'll move on. Okay, now on this page, you are going to add and subtract these on your own using a calculator. But there's something I want you to remember. When we have a negative sign without parentheses, that answer will always be negative. Okay? When we have a negative number in parentheses, it might be negative or positive. So when you're putting this in your calculator, it is very important that you put -7 in parentheses to the third power. Put this in your calculator exactly how you see it. When you see a negative number and no parentheses, you know it's automatically negative. So for example, we have this negative, and then we do 5 to the second power, and that is equal to 25. And we leave it like that. Okay? So your job now is to try these problems in your calculator. Remember, first, you find each of these, and then you add or subtract. So pause the video and try these on your own. Okay, hopefully you tried these on your own and you didn't just come back to the video and copy, because that's not going to help you. So here we go. I highlighted this in red and this in red so you can clearly see that these two go together. So 5 to the second power with this negative is -125. 4 to the third power would be 64. We have a negative number and we subtract, the number gets more negative. So the answer would be -89. 100 to the second power is 10,000. 8 to the third, 512. 9 to the power of 0, 1. 512 minus 1 is 511. 5 to the third power with our negative is -125. Minus 5 to the power of 0 is 1. -125 minus 1 is -126. Next, -7 to the third power is -343. 6 squared is 36. -343 plus 36 is -307. And last, 2 to the first power is 2. 10 to the power of 0 is 1. 2 plus 1 is not equal to 9. That is from a different problem, so let's erase that. That's kind of silly. 2 plus 1 is equal to 3. And I think we knew that. Okay, beautiful. Hopefully you did these correctly, and if not, reach out for some help and make sure you have the right information in your notes.